Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing great, ready for another trading day. Anyways, good morning. How's everybody doing? All right, so anyways, I uploaded a video last night on MBOT, but had to soon take it down because I forgot to hide some of my account information on there, unfortunately, so I had to take that down. So if you watched it, I did take it down. Sorry about that, guys. So we'll probably run through that a little bit here today since I made a video on it yesterday, but then had to take it down. All right, so we will definitely take another peek here at MBOT. All right, so now I'm going to hop over into the screen share so we can get going on that. All right, so the couple stocks that I'm going to be watching here today, guys, is going to be UAL. UAL is going to be the first stock on my watch list that I'll be keeping close attention to. So they had good earnings. The stock is gapping up, as you guys can see here on the chart. So for me personally, I'm going to be watching this long. It looks like they raised their guidance. For me, I'm going to be looking for a long entry, probably off this $84 mark. We'll see how the stock acts when the day gets going here. But if you look here at a yearly chart, good morning, James. Right? If you look here at the yearly chart or even a 180-day chart, 4-hour time frame, you can see here that UAL had some resistance at about this $84 mark. Now that we've broken over that, 84 should be kind of a good technical analysis point where we might see some support and we might see some dip buyers come in to buy up the stock. Good morning, Cold Signals. Good morning, Shri, Joe, Lewis. Good morning, guys. Yeah, it seems that it's taken a little bit while for the live stream to populate this morning, so I'm assuming YouTube didn't do their job very well this morning and they failed to notify you guys when I got online, most likely. So good morning, guys. Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, the notifications must have not went out, you know. It is what it is, you know, it is what it is. When you have, you know, a big multi-million-dollar company like YouTube, you figured they'd probably be able to get the notifications out on time. But hey, I don't know. I'm not the owner of YouTube. I'm only the owner of Boiler Room Trading. All right, so again, I don't know how people like to run their business, but it's all good. It's all good. So I haven't really been on that long. I haven't been on. So for those of you just getting on now, we've covered UAL. I'll touch on that here again in a second. We'll discuss MBOT briefly, not too long. The reason we'll talk about MBOT is I made the video yesterday, later at night, but I forgot to hide some account information, so I had to delete it. So we'll touch on that a little bit, okay? We will talk about the SPY. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so to retouch on UAL. So this is a 180-day, 4-hour chart. UAL had earnings. Their stock is shooting up. It's gapped up after hours into pre-market. So as you can see, for the past couple weeks, 84 was a resistance. Now that UAL has broken out of 84 or up and over 84, from a technical standpoint, the $84 mark should be an area where other traders and investors might be looking to dip buy the stock in anticipation it's going to move higher up and over $86 today. So we'll be paying close attention to UAL for a long, hopefully. All right. Yeah, Abdul. Yeah, the Boiler Room's a cool name, and I like the video. And there is some relation to trading somewhat there. All right, next one on the list. I'm going to cover mine, and then we'll take a look at some of your other guys'. So this is BAC. This is another stock that had earnings today. Bank of America, as you can see, they're gapping up pretty nicely. I don't typically trade bank stocks, but, you know, it's the start of the earnings season. This is gapping up pretty nicely. It's right into resistance, mind you. This $28 level is, in fact, a resistance. So there's two ways I'm watching this. It's either short off of 28 if, for whatever reason, Bank of America cannot hold these gains, or, depending on how it acts, I'll be taking it long over 28, anticipating a move up to close to 29. So there's really only two plays. It's either a short or a long. If Bank of America can hold strength and get over 28 successfully, then I might look to long it. If it struggles to get over $28 and keeps fighting it like it's been this morning, then I might look to short it. So far this morning, you can see Bank of America is holding its volume weighted average price pretty nicely, consolidating to the side. So as of right now, it's, in my opinion, still a long. It might need a dip a little bit more, but it appears things are going to be bullish for Bank of America, at least for right now. I would not be surprised if we see a dip, but nonetheless, $28 where I'm paying attention to for a short play or a potential long if it breaks out at 28, okay? Last one is FDC. Now, this is kind of interesting because FDC had this really big gap up. There was news of a company acquiring them. Yeah, they're planning like an acquisition, an all-stock deal with equity value of $22 billion. So there's some talks of a company acquiring this company, FDC. Nonetheless, you can see the stock has gapped up today. Oops, excuse me. You can see the stock is gapped up today. It's now kind of fading out. Right now, the stock has support at about $20. So depending on how and what it does here, if it just kind of consolidates, we might see a quick sell-off down to 20 and maybe a dip buy, but this is going to be on a close watch. It's an interesting gap up today with news of an acquisition and an all-stock deal for $22 billion. As you can see, it has obviously picked up attention from a gap from 1750 up to a high of 22, now sold off down to here. So we're looking for it really to kind of decrease in value all the way till about 20 and see what it does there. If it holds this kind of gap support level, then yeah, it might be good for a long off 20. If it can't, then maybe a short below the 20, anticipating it's going to panic and maybe come back down and fill this gap here. So I will be following the short bias as it's not holding its gains right now from pre-market. So we'll see how that all pans out. Those are the three stocks I'm watching. So no penny stocks today that I'm like really adamant about watching. The scanner, Jansta, the scanner I use that's on my screen in the videos below Thinkorswim is from Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas is it's like a third-party software that I use, or it's a different company. It's a subscription-based service. So if you want to use that scanner, you do have to pay to use it. There is a link in the description that will take you to their website, and you can check out their prices. It is an affiliate link, mind you. So if you want, you can check them out. They're like $100 a month for their basic plan. Dominic, what's my scanner? It is a Trade Idea scanner again. All right, so next one on the list that I do want to talk about, not that I'm watching specifically, but is MBOT. So I made a video about this last night. I think you guys remember me touching on it pre-market yesterday, saying, it's best probably to stay away from it. I didn't anticipate it would squeeze all the way to 19, but I'm not surprised that it did. But you guys see this drop later in the day on MBOT, this big flash crash pretty much. That was what I was trying to warn everybody about pre-market, okay? So that was what I was trying to keep people from getting involved with today. So yesterday pre-market, I'm like, hey, MBOT, yeah, it's up big, it's super sketchy, is extremely high risk. Sure, it could come more, but I anticipate this thing's going to end up kind of dumping out. So it did what we'd said, but just a little bit opposite. First, it went on an absolute tear, and then it crashed. So I did kind of worry yesterday that we would see this big move earlier in the day. So if anybody had hopped in pre-market or hopped in earlier in the day, I was afraid that this is what they might have ran into earlier kind of in the morning, and that really would have crushed a lot of people. So that's really what I was trying to get out there, to try and say, hey, this is why you should avoid it, because I'm not surprised. The company did an offering. Now you guys are going to be, well, why did this drop so much? Well, if you go to the news here, you'll see from yesterday, basically at about the time it all started dropping, Microbat announces they are doing basically a 6 million registered direct offering priced at the market. So, they basically diluted the stock and offered a ton of more shares, And there's more to offerings than just that. But whenever a stock goes parabolic like this, usually they're going to do a price offering and the stock is going to crash. And that's exactly what happened here. All right, so going forward with MBOT, this thing is most likely going to be done running here. I mean, I guess it could go on a tear, but after the offering and the sell-off, at this point, investors are definitely now scared. Retail traders and especially newer traders are probably like, well, holy hell, I don't want to get caught in another move like that. So this thing's probably going to slow down. We're probably going to see the short sellers and the bearish traders and the sellers taking over on the stock. This will be on watch list for the next couple days. I'll be paying attention to MBOT when it gets down to about a price of $4. I'll be watching it long. If you guys have the patience and the nerve to watch it as long as I will, down to the $4, congratulations. You might find yourself with a good trade. But I'll be looking at MBOT, potential long, down around $4, as we might have a bounce there right where the gap up price started. Again, take it as you leave it. That's what I'm going to be looking for. But as of right now, sellers are most likely going to take over on MBOT. Johnny, you cannot use Trade Ideas software on a Mac. It's not compatible, so you have to either get an additional software for your computers. They probably have a few brands or companies that do the same thing nowadays, but I remember back when I had a Mac, I was using Trade Ideas, I would have to use Parallels, which is a software that allows Windows softwares to run on your Mac. Again, I'm not the most technical person, so I could have said that wrong one way or the other, but if you use Parallels on your Mac, you can use Windows and those kind of programs on your Mac. Okay, there's that. The one behind me, that poster you see there, it's actually a canvas that was made by one of my friends who's an artist. So yeah, it's not actually one that I have made for purchase, but yeah, that was a custom made painting there. Yeah, MBOT, the initial move was, a lot of it was short squeeze, a lot of it was momentum and buying. Yeah, you cannot short MBOT. It's extremely hard to borrow stock. I did see KTOV yesterday. Yeah. No, I don't think people want to get in on MBOT. Patrick, that's like a catch-22 question. The question you have, and for everybody watching, of course, the question here from Patrick Ryan is, what's the best way to grow your account, say with $3,000? Options trading or just normal trading? So that's kind of a catch-22 question. So the way the answer is going to come is going to be in a two-part. So what's the best way to grow your account? The best way to grow your account in trading is to win and not lose. That's the best way to grow your account. Oh, no shit, Connor. You're just a genius, right? No. Okay. So yeah, of course you have to win to grow your account. Now, is it best to do options trading to grow your account, or is it best to do regular trading to grow your account? There is no better route. It just depends on how you look at it. Options trading allows you, not really allows you, but options trading is leveraged, so you can make money quicker and faster with less investment, but your risk is still the same, if not more. So you can make more money with less money with options than you can with just trading regular stocks. It does not mean you're going to make money faster and or quicker than you would with stocks. Because if you cannot correctly trade stocks, meaning if you think something's going up and you buy it and it goes down, or if you think something's going to go down and you short it and it goes up, at that point, you clearly are telling yourself you're having a tough time picking the direction or the correct direction on stocks. And if you can't pick the correct direction on stocks, then you're not going to make any money trading options. So there is no, is it better to do this way? Is it better to do that way? Let me put it this way. Once you have gained enough knowledge about the market and you can successfully just pick direction and flow of stocks and you're correct, then options trading might be better for you because you can make more money with less capital quicker than trading stocks. So it's kind of a catch-22, depends on your situation. I will take a look at the market here. We got about 10 minutes, 11 minutes before I got to hop off. Yeah, I'm trying to make some serious money in 2019. I'm doing pretty well this year so far. Yeah, this year so far I'm up almost 11,000 on the year trading, so doing pretty well. Nope, SPY was not. No, we haven't gone over the SPY yet. I was kind of saving that for the last little thing. Yeah, I mean, options is arguably, yeah, the way I look at it is options is you don't really want to mess with options until you really know what you're doing with stocks, because you won't be good at options trading if you don't know how to trade stocks. So that's kind of the flow. That's kind of what happens is typical trader will start off on stocks, and a lot of times they will move into options later on because of the additional benefits to options. So a lot of times people start with equities and move into options and things like that. I am still following NBEV long. I'm just not long on it right now. Yeah, and to touch on the account with the Robinhood growth thing that I did, there's always going to be people that doubt what you've done, and I don't really care. But the more important thing is, honestly, guys, when I grew that account from 2 to 22 so fast, I probably couldn't do it again. I don't think I could. So like, awesome for me for doing that, right? Like, that was cool, but it was not easy, right? And I don't think I'd be able to do it again. Like, if you told me to do it again right now, I probably couldn't do it again, honestly. There was just so much volatility in the market. I just took advantage of it. I knew there was volatility. I'm like, okay, like, if I want to grow something, and that was the thing, is I was doing the small account on Webull, and then I locked myself on Webull, not thinking, and did the pattern day trading, locked myself. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'll use Robinhood then. So I started working on it with Robinhood, and when I started to do it with Robinhood, it just so happened that the markets just kind of shifted, and I could tell we were going into the bearish move, and I had been planning on shorting the stock market for over a whole year. Since the beginning of 2018, I've been planning this kind of move and anticipating we were going to have a crash, a recession, or at least a corrective wave like we had. And so I had already been like ready for a year for what happened. And then obviously I know what I'm doing when it comes to trading. So it just kind of like, for that to happen, the pieces just all fell right in place for me, right? So for just me on an average month, or it would be I don't think I'd be able to do that again. But that's why I made the video. The purpose of the video was to say, like, hey, obviously you can do it. And in the video I said it was super impressive, and I wouldn't have been able to do it unless we had the volatility. So something like that is extremely hard to do. Okay, it's not easy, especially doing it in less than a month. Don't think that that's a norm. Not a norm. Robinhood. Oh yeah, guys. I did eventually get my $20,000 that was missing. So the $20,000 did get deposited to my trading account with TradeZero. I haven't traded on them since the money's been deposited. I just have it in there. It's sitting in my account unused. And I've really been back and forth on pulling my money from them, keeping it with them, so I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet with that whole scenario. But nonetheless, more importantly, they did find my $20,000, so that's all good. All right. That's cool. That's all taken care of. Let's take a look at the market real quick, the S&P. And to give you guys a rundown, I'm going to give you my whole thought process on this as quick as I can. All right. So for one, when something free falls, we had the market free falling, right? Like the past, you guys know, when the market was going down, it was basically in a free fall. When something goes free falling, it can bounce up with ease. Okay, just like the concept when something falls hard, it bounces hard. When something goes up hard, it falls hard. Oh, perfect example, right? Take a look at MBOT. What happened to MBOT? Now, granted, they did an offering and there's more to that story, but right, this stock went straight up and it came straight down, right? 2 days, straight up, straight down, okay? So the SPY, right, when you look at this big drop, it was a straight down drop, and now we've had a pretty easy going long all the way up. I'm not surprised, okay? From a bearish standpoint, all the bearish traders, myself included, I was like, well, if this is going to continue its wave down, like immediately, it would have rejected 257, 258, we would have came down. So once it did, I knew the Fibonacci retracements and extensions weren't working. So then the next level was 260, which is kind of a mental resistance, and it was these low point candles. That was kind of the next one. That broke yesterday. So now the bears' next level they're paying attention to, myself included, would be the 50 moving average on the daily chart. If the 50 moving average can hold down the price, that's sort of a good sign. If it starts to break over the 50 moving average, the bears' last line of defense, which at this point will most likely be the strongest line of defense, is going to be $265 or $2,065, $650. Okay, so the next level to pay attention to if you want to get short on the market is going to be at 265, right in that area, because that is the true structured resistance. We're not looking at mental hole numbers. We're not talking about moving averages. We're not talking about Fibonacci levels. We're just going based off a straight forward, clear, structured resistance zone, which is going to be right in this 265 level. So you can almost be sure that once we get up to 265, we're going to see a red day. Okay, when we get to 265, we're going to see a red day. Okay, the market will probably gap down, or we're going to have one day where it's a mean red day of sellers really coming in at that 265. And that's kind of it. If we start to successfully break 265, hold over 265, get back into these consolidation zones, then at that point I'll go, okay, the market's probably going to be heading higher, or we can still anticipate maybe we'll have a bullish move. So after 265 breaks, that's where I'm going to stop thinking short the market. Okay, I'm going to go back into neutral, right? More of like a neutral zone and neutral playing field. Okay. Market breaks over 265, I'm neutral until it turns bullish or until it turns back to bearish. Yeah, for sure. Oh, anyways, so yeah, the other day in the video and then the video last night that I couldn't upload because, all right, anyways. I didn't have the link. I didn't have the link in the description to our merch. You guys, honestly, I love you guys. You should totally support the channel. One where if you're not already with the crew and our private group, you should just get a hat. You should get a sweatshirt. Check it out. I didn't have the link there yesterday. I don't know what happened, but it's there today. Take a look-ski. It's the second link. Maybe there's something there you like. Maybe there's not. Maybe there'll be something you like in the future. I don't know what you're into, but hey, give her a look-ski. Grab some merch while you're at it. That's my last thing I got for you. I got to head out the door. I got to get back to the private stream. Again, if you guys ever want to enter that too, again, everything you can basically get in contact with me, all linked in the description below. By the way, we have 700 people watching this live. If you could all give a thumbs up, that'd be fantastic. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning for another live stream.